On this episode, we are on location on our back porch during this beautiful Florida day to talk about our Disney bucket list items. Today is October 19th, 2021. This is episode 401 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I am joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys!
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic. If you've not done so already, head out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. And if you hit that subscribe button, you're going to get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. But if you want even more content, like in-park, resort, and at-home live streams, plus tomorrow we are heading down to Disney to check out the all-new Genie app, Genie Plus, Lightning Lane, and everything involved. Bonus episodes are coming. We get discounts on Main Street Magic merchandise, including our brand new bar logo flannel, which you can find at mainstreetshirts.com. And there's a whole lot more. Check out our Patreon group at wonderlandcrew.com. And if you want to check out some of our amazing partners, go to msmfriends.com and save on your next Disney trip. If you're getting ready to plan your next Disney or Universal vacation, maybe you're looking to go on a cruise or pretty much travel anywhere else in the world that will currently allow you to visit, go to msmears.com and learn more about our wonderful travel partner, Melissa Pilgrim, with years of experience, and you can fill out a form for a free quote. All right, so today we're talking Disney bucket list items.
Yep.
This, are we keeping this straight to like parks and resorts, Disney parks and resorts?
I have no idea.
I'm just going to say right now that we're going to do our top 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it relates to parks and resorts. But if it didn't, my honorable mention would be to be in a Disney movie. I didn't even think of that before we started.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Right? Like even just an extra or something? I mean, you would think I could probably star in one, but not even close. So we've touched base. This was a topic we were kind of just thinking of. We want to do something fun, light, after the emotional roller coaster that was episode 400.
Yes.
Which again, cannot thank everyone enough for all the feedback, the messages on social. We even got text messages and Facebook messages and all kinds of stuff. And we were just so grateful. It was so much fun to do. Before we dive into our top 5 bucket list items, I will say we are on location.
Oh my goodness.
Not in Disney.
You're silly.
Where are we on location at and why?
Let's be honest. If we were in our office sitting, I think we'd be too hot because it is a beautiful 75 degrees here in Florida. Low humidity. And I have opened the entire house, like windows and doors. And the office has one little window. And I don't think...
And 800 electrical computer items that raise the temp in there 5 to 10 degrees at any given moment.
And I really don't think the way it's positioned, even having the window open, it would cool it down. So we are out back on our patio. Actually, our memories popped up today that we're about the 6-year mark on getting this done. Our back patio prior was not screened in. We got it extended a little bit and screened in. And we watch TV out here when it's cooler like this. And we just really enjoy the back patio.
Yeah, if you live in Florida, I feel like especially in North Florida, you have to have that outdoor living space.
Yeah.
I feel like often it can be October through maybe into March.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was messaging my best friend Matt. He lives up in Jersey, and he was like, I would love for us to have like an outdoor space like that, but we can only use it half the year. And I was like, dude, so can we.
Right.
Because we're not sitting out here in July, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but no, we love it and had to fortunately get a new TV for out here yesterday. Our old one died, but now we have a new one. So yeah, we love watching movies and hanging out here. But that's why it sounds a little different. We got a little mobile studio out on the back patio. Let's talk our Disney parks and resorts bucket list. You have ranked yours from 5 down to 1, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to go first,
Sure.
my love? What is your number 5 bucket list item for Disney parks and resorts?
Well, and I'm going to go ahead and say in past episodes we have probably talked about these things, but we were talking today, and actually it was really cute. A listener said that they would like to meet us, and that's on their bucket list, and it was so just
that was amazing.
It was amazing, and it was also like humbling, and just I'm in awe. So like I'm like, oh, let's do maybe bucket list. So my number 5 would be to visit every resort, and we pretty much have, except Beach, Grand Flow, and Riviera.
Yeah, so every Walt Disney World resort.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
You don't mean visit, stay at.
Yeah. Sorry.
Again, I've technically stayed at Beach,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it really counted. BK Lounge, our buddy, was nice enough to invite me to a DVC
awesome.
after hours event and let me crash on his couch at Beach Club. Literally, I don't think we got to bed till after midnight, and I got up and had to come home at like 6, 7 a.m. So that was the only time I spent was 6, 7 hours in the room, literally just sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really count it as staying there, but you're right. Riviera, Grand Flow, and Beach Club are the only 3 Walt Disney World properties we have not stayed at.
Yes.
You could almost throw in if you wanted Swan.
Yeah,
I know.
True.
I mean, we stayed at Dolphin, but I know that Swan and Dolphin
We've not stayed at Swan,
or has been nicknamed Swolphin.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
you
want to call that thing Swolphin.
Oh, I guess now we might as well add.
Oh yeah, what is it? The what do they call it now? The Reserve. Yeah, Swan and Dolphin. All right, so I think that's a good bucket list item. My number 5 is to dine at Victoria and Albert's. Caveat being, I don't want to pay for it. I totally will. It is on my bucket list. Loving.
It's not. It would never be on mine. But
what if I pay for it?
No, I mean it would never be on mine. But I would love to be there with you and see you enjoy it, because you love doing food and stuff. So yeah.
And I was just kidding. I can't afford it. So okay. Again. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm not saying it's not. But if Josh Diamaro were to call me and say, "Listen, buddy, I would like to take you to Victoria and Albert's. Your wife is not allowed to come. Would you be okay if I went?"
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah, no, I really do. I think it's the thing that I'm so interested to see. I remember going way back and the first time we ever dined at California Grill and being so nervous because I know it's expensive and I know it's hyped up and I was worried, like, can it live up to all this hype? And it 100% did.
Yep.
And I think that's part of the Victoria and Albert's thing is, man, that is a lot of money for food and an experience. I get it, but could it live up to the price that we would pay? I know it will. I've never heard someone come out of there, I feel like, in regret that they spent the money and all.
Yeah.
So that is one that I would really like to do as a foodie type guy, and honestly I know we would get all fancied up and just have the best time. So truly, I know I joke, and if Josh does want to take me, I'm cool with it, but more so I would rather go there with you.
Okay.
He could still pay for it, but if he's just like, hey, do you want to go, and I'm like, not with you, buddy, like, you seem nice, but I'd rather take my wife.
Mm-hmm.
You can still foot the bill.
Okay.
What is your number 4?
Number 4 is actually cruise.
Okay.
On the brand new Wish,
mm-hmm.
and we actually are in 2022.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about that. I've always wanted to do a Disney cruise, and my mom used to talk about it before on like paying for us and all going as a family, and it just worked where we are going to be able to, and I'm super excited, we're gonna actually be like housemates, if I feel like, with Lucy and Caleb.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's going to be so fun. Yeah, so our good friends Lucy and Kayla booked, and literally we got veranda rooms, and they're in the room adjacent to ours.
Yep.
Which will be so cool. And literally right before we pressed record, they FaceTimed us from Disney on the Skyliner. Coming from our very, very favorite Bar Riva.
Yep.
Got to see Chris and Marcy. So yeah, that's really cool and going to be so exciting. My number 4 is to visit all Walt Disney World, or stay at all Walt Disney World resorts.
Oh.
So that's my number 4.
Nice.
A couple reasons, for me, one is just having that kind of checklist of here's all the, Walt Disney World resorts, and we literally stayed in a room at every single one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's cool. And another reason is I want to be able to come back and after we've stayed in them all, really put it together and go, here's our favorites. Because right now, we obviously we love the rooms at Coronado. We love the rooms at just say Yacht Club, one of my favorites, Wilderness Lodge.
Mm-hmm,
but we can't truly say whether we like those more or less than a room at Beach Club, Riviera, or Grand Flow. And I want to actually be able to put that together and see what it's truly like. It's a lot of the reason, we were doing that ranking resorts series.
Right.
And one of the ones we want to do is rooms.
Yep.
And originally, we were going to do it, and we were just going to leave the ones out that we hadn't stayed at. But I don't think that's right or fair. So I think we'll wait to do that episode once we've actually stayed in every one. I'm going to go ahead and take over with my number 3 because it's going on a cruise on the Disney Wish.
Wow.
So we're 2 for 2 matching up so far. I knew you would never pick Victoria and Albert's. I can't tell you how excited I am for this cruise.
Oh, yeah.
I've been on one cruise in my entire life.
I've been on a few.
It was on, was it Carnival?
Mm-hmm.
It was for a work function, but I had to pay for it because it was for a client.
Yep.
So it was out of pocket. It was out of Jacksonville.
Or out of Jacksonville, yep. So
which is a
very
small ship.
boat.
Yeah.
You
And
still got lost on it.
I will say this. What did we do? Was it 3 nights? 4 days, 3 nights?
I think so.
I've tried to erase most of it from my memory. It was awful. But even on that 4th day, I had no idea where I was going or where anything was. I don't know what it was about that cruise ship. I could not figure out anything.
I'm sure you won't with the Disney.
Probably not, which is going to be so much larger. But the seas were rough.
The seas weren't rough as much as the winds were really bad.
Yeah, and with that small of a ship,
it
you feel it. Yeah. I remember like a week later, I was walking to get the mail. We have like centralized mailboxes here in our community. And I'm on the way back and I almost fell over. Like I legit almost fell over because I was I hadn't got my land legs back, I guess. And I remember texting Rhonda and I was like, is something wrong with me or is this normal?
Yeah.
You're like, it can be normal. It just, I don't know. It wasn't my jam. And
no, because it was out of Jacksonville. It was kind of sad because there was.
Watch your mouth about Jacksonville.
No, I mean it was a smaller ship, and then it's a Carnival, so there was a lot of like. Let's
say it's a very affordable cruise. Yeah. So, yes, you got a very young.
So you had
affordable crowd. Oh yeah,
that's drinking a lot. That at one point I was like, if she throws up right there, I can't even.
I just remember going up to the pool deck and like the main pool. We did go in the hot tub the one time at like the adults only kind, and I think there was maybe 2 other people in there, which is so awkward.
Yeah.
I wish they would do boarding groups for hot tubs. And so that you could have a time and it'd just be like, look, man, you get like 15, 20 minutes, you assign a time.
Yeah. Only
people you know are allowed in the hot tub at the same time.
Yeah. I agree.
If we can make that a thing, that would be, I'd even pay Lightning Lane prices for that. But yeah, I don't know, it was just interesting. And then I remember we went to sit down at breakfast one morning and I remember you looking at me and like, you were just like, you should go back to the room now. Because I was just
very
pale and just, I did not
and at
feel
this
good.
point,
and I was like, I think I should.
And at this point, I already put my patch on.
Yeah.
So I felt better.
Yep.
And then I got back to the room and gave you Dramamine or Bonine.
Yep.
and then you were okay the rest of the time. But it still was just, it wasn't our.
You did play that slot machine and won $100 though. Remember that?
Yeah. And then I walked away.
and then the only other issue was, because it was this work function that had to go to, was for one of my clients, and they paired up the exact same tables every night for dinner. And one of the people at our table was someone that I could absolutely not stand.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I'm not going to the sit-down dinners because I can't sit at a table with this dude every night we're here.
Yeah.
So I think we did the first one, and we did no more of the sit-downs. But anyway, I'm so excited for this cruise. As things keep coming out about the Wish, I think the girls are at such a wonderful age for this, and I know that they're going to have an absolute blast with, getting the chance to go off on their own and go on the kids and the teens clubs. And I can't even tell you how much I'm looking forward to this. I took over number 3. What is your number 3?
My number 3 would be to go to Hawaii and Alani.
Oh, yeah. That did not show up on my list, but I love that.
Okay.
Have you been to Hawaii, Rhonda? Why don't you rub that in my face again? But you didn't go to Cool Time. You were 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So?
Better if you were 21.
I still had a great time.
Okay.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I missed my parents, though.
And how long did you go for when you went?
10 days.
10 days.
But, I mean, that's what you need, because it takes a day to get out there and a day to get back, pretty much. I do believe at the time of the time change, it was a 6-hour difference. So it's like California.
California's 3 hours.
Well, I mean, sorry, but it's a big time change, basically.
Yeah. About, like, some people would say it's like twice as much. I don't know. I'm not really good at numbers.
Sometimes it's only 5 hours.
I know. That's
different.
weird. See, that would really throw me off.
Yeah. But anyways, so I would love to go back.
Yeah. That didn't, that didn't show up on my list, but I really do. I mean, again, we've got a resort that Joe Rohde helped build and design. Yeah. And when you think of an Animal Kingdom Lodge and things like Wilderness Lodge, and from the pictures and everything, it seems to have that feel. I think it would be wonderful. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. I don't want to sit on a plane for that long, because aren't you about a 5-hour flight to potentially California? If you were to go that's the route I would have to do, is I'd have to split it in California. Yeah. Didn't you go to like Atlanta?
Yep.
And then what, 10 hours?
Yep. Straight over from Atlanta to Hawaii.
Oh.
It was pretty
I'm getting
rough.
Anxiety now, just even thinking of that.
Yeah.
Was it like a daytime flight, or did you see? You can sleep anywhere though. You probably just were like, I'll just sleep for 10 hours.
Yeah, I took a pill. And I slept the whole.
Really? I would literally just have to I would have to go to the doctor and say, Doctor, is there anything you can give me that just knocks me out for 10 hours, and I will be unaware. That's my only thing. I would want to go to. Well, you know what? We'll touch maybe on it in a little bit.
Wait, what's your 3?
Go ahead. No, my 3 was the cruise. Remember, I took over. What is your number 2?
Paris.
Really? Okay.
To go to Paris.
All right. Disneyland, Paris.
To go to Disneyland.
Yep. What are your thoughts on, like, Victoria and Albert's, for me, is probably not something that is in my 5-year plan that I would like for it to be. Visiting all the I keep saying visiting. You got that in my head. Staying at all the resorts, I think very much is.
Yeah.
A cruise obviously is.
Yep.
Hawaii, I don't know. We'll see. What are our thoughts potentially and plans for a Disneyland Paris trip?
Oh, yeah. When Kaylin is 16, for her sweet 16, we are going to first head over to Gary first, right? And
no, we were looking at going to Paris first.
Going to Paris first, and then going to the UK and seeing Gary.
Yeah.
And Claire and his sweet family.
Yeah.
And actually, Lacey, we already kind of discussed this, and Lacey does not want to go, which I was shocked. But, which is good. It'll save us money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, take Kaylin over there. And so.
That would be amazing.
Yep.
My number 2 is similar as far as a international park, and that's to go to Tokyo Disney Resort, which includes Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea. 2023, you have the new Fantasyland expansion coming, Frozen,
wow.
Tangled, Peter Pan, the rides and everything they have there. It just, again, just, me being on social and always looking at things Disney, most people seem to think that Tokyo Disney Resort is the best Disney resort, like as far as the parks go.
Right.
And to me, that is something I just want to do so badly. I also know that, like, Kaylin, we'd have to take her. She is so infatuated, I think, with that kind of, Tokyo, that type of culture over there, which I am absolutely. Too. It is an incredible culture of food and entertainment, just everything about it. I think would be absolutely amazing to go and visit. That's another one that, I really hope that what I would love to do is be able to take, like, almost what we're doing with the cruise in 2022 and maybe each year be able to do something major at a Disney park or resort. If we can make that happen. I don't even know what that flight is like.
Doesn't it take like 2 days to get there? That's my only thing is, like, thinking about sitting on a plane for that amount of time and the layovers and all that stuff that just almost makes me be like, you know what, maybe I don't have to see it. I can watch videos on YouTube. That's funny.
All right, so we're down to our number one.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you go first. You want to say them, or should we count down and say them at the same time? I feel like they're the same thing.
They're not.
They're not?
Yeah.
Would you look at my paper?
Yeah, I just saw it. I'm
really?
Sorry.
You cheated.
I didn't cheat.
I've been holding it up.
Well, because you just laid it down, and I was thinking. Well, so I was thinking, oh my gosh.
Did you cheat on tests growing up?
Probably.
If you don't remember, then you probably did. Or no, you 100% did. If you don't remember looking at the person's paper next to you to cheat on a test, then you 100% did. Okay. I got caught cheating once. I thought I was really smart, and I had all the answers on a little piece of paper in my desk.
Oh my goodness!
I was pulling it out, and I had it in my hand, and I was looking down, and I feel a tap on my shoulder, and I'm like, oh no, this is not going to be good.
Oh my goodness!
And for me, it was extra bad because my dad, both my parents were educators, but my dad was a very, very well-known and respected principal. He was one of the best up in Montgomery County, Maryland. And so it's not like I could not tell them or, like, it was just worse because they're like, that's the Stein kid,
That's the Stein
like, seriously.
Kid.
I told you about when I skipped a college class to go see Creed, right?
Yes.
I told you that?
Yes.
So other people may have not. So I was going to Montgomery College my first year out of high school, the junior college up there. And one night, I can't remember what it was, some math class or something. I don't know. So I told my parents, I said, yeah, I'm going to class. And then me and some friends are going to Baltimore to see Creed at Bohager's. And this would have been 1998, I think. And so I did not go to class. My plan was go straight to Baltimore to see Creed and get there early and, get something to eat and whatever and go to the club or the bar and stuff. And so I go, amazing concert, loved it. Cool for August opened, which is still one of my favorite bands that nobody's ever heard of. And they played, it was the first, it wasn't the first night, but they had started playing, I'm sorry, I'm getting all Creed nerd. They started playing With Arms Wide Open. Okay. Because Scott Stapp had just found out his wife at the time was pregnant. And so anyway, they played With Arms Wide Open. It was the first time I had heard it. Amazing. And so I go home, I go to bed, and I'm like, man, what a night. And the next morning, I wake up, and both of my parents had brought chairs into my room, basically, and are sitting next to my bed staring at me. And I'm like, hey. It turns out that the professor knew my dad and called him and said, I'm so sorry Jeremy couldn't make it to class tonight. Here's what he missed. Ooh. And I'm like, awesome. So, so that happened. But, yeah. Anyway, so we're at my number one now, correct?
Well, yeah, because I kind of thought, I forgot to put this on my bucket list. But a bucket list doesn't it kind of mean that, like, you may never do it, but you hope to, right?
No, to me,
because what your number one is, we'll do.
Yeah, my number one's Disneyland. Yeah, I didn't
Like,
even
we'll
end up
do it.
talking about it.
No, I mean, go ahead. I'm saying that's
why I went on
left
such
it.
a weird tangent.
Yeah, you did. But I left it out because I'm like, we're gonna do that.
No, to me, a bucket list is obtainable things that you can do.
Okay. Well, then I
Like,
should have.
to me,
put
I
it
mean,
on there. Maybe I should have had more than 5.
Number one bucket list: be a billionaire. But to me, that's not obtainable. So I don't want something on a list that I can't check off.
Okay.
Is my thing. So no, but Disneyland, obviously, walk where Walt walked.
Yes.
You know, the park that he built, the one that truly started it all. I just want to be able to do that.
Yeah,
And I
me
know
too.
how quaint and homey and it is, and just and cozy. I feel like and so close. I can't imagine walking down the same street that he and so many others that helped create this entire thing walked.
Yeah.
And for me, that would be huge. Yes, it will happen. I believe I'm going to put these on my vision board. By the way, I would like to start a vision board.
Okay.
We should start a vision board.
Okay.
I've heard they work.
Really?
Yeah. Zach Braff and Donald Faison swear by them on starting a vision board.
Okay.
And it was on the episode of Happy Endings the other day that I've been watching. Very underrated sitcom. You can find it on Hulu.
Oh my god!
I'm all over the place today.
It's hard to say. Are you a
I believe
advertisement?
You know what? I know that all 5 of these will happen. We will make them happen.
Okay. Let's do it.
So that's where I feel bucket list means something you can do.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd almost call it a wish list.
Yeah.
I don't wish to do these things.
Oh.
They're on a bucket list that I want to accomplish before
I mean, ditto.
I'm done.
Yeah. Before you're done.
This big blue marble we call Earth. Okay, what's your number one? We're at that, right? You haven't said it? Is it become a billionaire?
It would to be a part of the Disney team.
Okay.
Like, whether that means, Disney finding us, Main Street Magic, and I don't know, calling us to do stuff for them, or, I mean, because we already do, and then or does this mean, I don't know if this means being a part of the team by working
I was going to say, like,
somewhere,
air quote, retiring as
maybe
your normal hairdresser thing and moving there and becoming a cast member.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I love that one, actually. I do. We were talking earlier, and I think this just goes back to last episode 400 so much, is the community and kind of family that has been built around all of this. We're talking about Lucy and Caleb, who are FaceTiming us from the Skyliner. They were just sitting there at Bar Riva with Chris and Marcy, who know them and know us, and they sent us a photo of the 4 of them. Mm-hmm. It just blows my mind, and so I would like to say we are part of the Disney team.
Yeah,
but I understand the level that you're coming at with it.
I mean, I would say we're part of the Disney team, but like maybe Disney paying us, or I don't know, something.
Yeah, or Josh Diamara taking me to Victoria and Albert's. There you go. I think it's.
But I mean, yes, I feel like we're part of the Disney family. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I am going to add another honorable mention, which is to have at 3 Bridges in Bar Riva the Main Street Magic available to order, because as again Lucy and Caleb earlier were saying that Caleb was drinking a Main Street Magic, she called it.
I know, and I was confused with that until you said something. So tell our good listeners,
what
the Main Street Magic would be.
So we've mentioned it. It's kind of our go-to beverage now, which is vodka with water, regular water, flat water as Rhonda calls it, splash of cranberry.
I don't want bubbles in my water.
And a lot. You know who hates sparkling water?
Who?
Ted Lasso.
Oh, really?
And I think everybody should comment and write in that Rhonda should watch Ted Lasso with me.
Oh my goodness.
Before season 3 comes. We're going to get through it. We'll watch one right after this.
No.
You will be hooked.
Nope.
By his, not only his mustache.
No, you already showed me.
But his wonderful demeanor.
I've already watched it.
You watched one little scene. Okay, anyway. So yes, I would love if you could, imagine if you could walk up to Bar Reva and go, yeah, I'd like 2 Main Street Magics. And they're like, oh, we know exactly what that is. Here you go.
Yep.
So anyway, if anybody can make that happen, that would be cool.
Okay.
But, you know, it's funny because there's so many different things still. Like, you know, I mean, you could add on here, eat at every Walt Disney World restaurant. You know?
Yeah,
We've worked our way through a ton of them.
Right.
But not all of them.
We're working our way through.
We're trying more and more.
Well, we've got...
Yeah, so we're gonna do. We're dining at Splitsville next weekend. You know what? Oh, can I add another one?
What?
Hang out with NPH in a Disney park for the day, or John Stamos.
Okay.
Neil Patrick Harris or John Stamos. John Stamos will never reply to my tweets.
I'm sorry.
Neil Patrick Harris has. Maybe I should tell John Stamos.
Yes, he has.
That Neil Patrick Harris has now. This is a goofy episode, but we have just honestly we've enjoyed this weather. We've been waiting so long for this beautiful Florida weather and to enjoy our porch again and all that.
The kids are off school tomorrow.
Yes.
And a lot of times the kids get up at 7. You know, I don't have to be at work till 10, so we'll record Monday morning before I head off to work. Well, because the kids are recording. The kids are off school tomorrow. We don't have to record in the morning. So I was like, let's do it today so we can sleep in the morning.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And I've got Taco in the background barking, and we've got some pork butts on the smoker.
Yep.
We've been watching TV out here all day. I do love Florida very, very much. All right. Anything else you would want to add? Do you have any little honorable mention type things as far as your kind of Disney bucket list?
I don't think so. I mean,
I
guess honorable mention would have been Disneyland. Sorry.
Yeah, I think so. And I totally get where you were going with that type of thing.
Yeah.
I do want to cross all of these off though.
So again,
we're gonna vision board it. We're gonna whiteboard it. We're gonna put we have to get like magazines though, and then we have to cut out the pictures of each thing. So like we have to get a magazine that has like Disneyland in it, and I gotta cut out a picture of like, you know, the tiny little Sleeping Beauty castle. And
you're gonna get in trouble
I know.
for that.
I do that. I'm gonna get a text message from Jossie and Kat. But yeah, I just threw that in there for
nice.
that. I do love Boardwalk Inn now though, so I feel like I'm on good terms.
Nope.
I'm on good terms with them.
No.
This was fun. I know this was kind of a silly episode, lots of tangents, but
hope y'all enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to follow up episode 400, which again I can't even get over.
Yes.
How amazing it was, and everybody that called in, and
again,
then everybody that came into Facebook and was like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't have a chance to call in, or I forgot," and then they shared their favorite memories.
I loved that. Yes,
it was so.
And again, thank y'all so much. We wouldn't be where we are without y'all. You do have Wonderland Crew, folks. You do have this coming Wednesday.
Yes.
The episode comes out on Tuesday. The next day, you will be getting.
Lots of live streams.
Yep, all for Genie, and then
let's say Genie
plus Lightning Lane,
A Partridge in a Pear Tree.
Okay,
I think is included.
It'll be nice to be at Creations again because then we can see what kind of 50th merch is out.
I gotta find the tracksuit pants.
Yep, I gotta find my pajamas. Let's see if the tumblers are still out. So, and then.
Yeah, lots coming.
We got Thanksgiving coming.
Yep, we got Thanksgiving coming. Well, so not only will we be there Wednesday, which will be tomorrow when this comes out, we're also going the following Tuesday to see Blue October at House of Blues at Disney Springs.
Yes.
We're going to be there with the wonderful Jody, who's coming flying in from Colorado. We're going to dine for dinner at Splitsville. We are staying at the Holiday Inn at Disney Springs, which should be interesting, I think, just because it's one of those, Disney Springs area resorts. See what that's like.
Yep.
And then we will be coming home the day after. We got, Thanksgiving, as you mentioned, coming up, where we will be tent camping at Fort Wilderness.
We'll be doing lunch with your parents at Steakhouse 71
Yes.
that time. And then, we're looking ahead already to start planning 2022 and all of the wonderful visits and content and continuing to enjoy the 50th. So, again, follow along on social, Main Street Magic Community, WonderlandCrew.com, and I think that's about a wrap. But if you're out there on all these internet things, we would love if you subscribe for new episodes every Tuesday and Friday, and please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.